Good morning and happy February. I cannot believe that we are literally 1 month away from our time frame of accepting manuscripts here at 1010 Publishing. Most of you know me, Nuri Castillo Crawford. I am the CEO and founder of 1010 Publishing. We're barely 2 years old. But we are here making some strides and looking forward to expanding our not only collection of books disseminated in a bilingual format, but also helping those aspiring authors tell their stories. I am a huge advocate of representation and ensuring that everyone has access to being able to tell their story. Having said all that, I want to quickly go over some of the top questions I receive continually and consistently. So, number one, I would say people always ask me or tell me, I have a story, but how do I get it down? My number one advice for anyone is that you need to schedule some time. I am an organizer and I schedule everything in my life, but I realize that some people are not like that, but I would suggest that for anyone. So if you have a story and you want to tell it, whether it's to be published or just to have for family keepsake, and whether you're going to go through the regular publishing house method or the very popular self-publishing method, I would definitely highly encourage you to set time every single week to write. You may want to say, I'm going to write twice a week for 15 minutes. I promise you, once you get those writing and those creative thoughts going, you're totally going to go over that amount. So for me, it's schedule the time, and like nothing should be able to stop you from completing that targeted time that you have. So you don't need me for that. You can schedule your own time for that. Second of all, another question or comment people make is, do I need to read? I don't really like reading. That's interesting to me. I've been a reader since as long as I can remember. I'm an avid reader and I love reading. It's pretty much something that probably helped me mature and grow to be the person that I am. I think that it opens windows and worlds that are unfamiliar to you when you read. And it helps you come up with ideas, and it helps you kind of see, compare, and contrast, find your own voice. So reading can have a lot of can give you a lot of supporting and have a great positive attributes to your own writing. So I would definitely encourage you to read everything and anything you can, even the genres that maybe you don't love. And the next one, last but not least, is probably the most popular one, is people trying to message me and inbox me or text me if they've known me for years and they just want me to just flat out publish their book. I would love to do it that way because I feel like everybody's story is important, but not everybody is ready to be published, right? So some of the things that you need to keep in mind if you want to get published is that you most likely will need to submit your manuscript to at least 25 publishing houses, and most of them do need you to have a literary attorney or a literary agent to do so. At 1010 Publishing, we don't, but we also don't accept the amount of manuscripts that big publishing houses do. We're very selective with the manuscripts that we submit in terms of relevancy to stories and representation. So for example, I wouldn't write a story about a millennial young Caucasian or Anglo-American woman, because even if I read a lot about that demographic, or if I interview 50 of them, I don't feel like would be qualified or equipped enough to tell someone's story whose life I've not lived. And yeah, if you have been on social media, I've been hearing some news about that book that shall remain nameless because I'm not trying to promote it, about a woman who wrote a story that didn't belong to her. Then you know what I mean. So we're careful about those things. We definitely want people to have a voice, and we definitely believe in representation for every single person, not just a select few. But we want to make sure that we represent and we support the voices and the stories that are relevant to the author. So that's a fun little tidbit there. So no, I can't just publish everyone's book, even if you know me. I'd love to, but that's not how it works. You definitely need an editor to look at your manuscript because you don't want to submit anything that has tons of grammatical errors, etc. At some point, you do need to finish and say, you know what, this is good enough, so stop second guessing yourself, but definitely have somebody else read it. A couple of friends maybe review it and give you some feedback. We are definitely 1 month away from our manuscript submission window. Follow us on social media. We're at 110 Publishing on all social media platforms, and you can always email us at 110publishingus@gmail.com. Of course, you can find us on our website at 1010 Publishing. So I'm hoping that you have an amazing last month before you submit your manuscripts. Stay in the loop with us and help us connect with aspiring authors. We'd love to hear from everyone, and we will be humbled to publish your story. Follow the submission window instructions. That also is very important, not just for us, for any publishing house. If they ask you, like we do, to send a cover letter, you need to send a cover letter, and you need to address it individually. Don't just send a general publishing letter, introductory letter to just everyone. It's more personal. Make sure you capture the reader's attention even in your letter. And we'll talk more about those kind of things later on because I feel like those are some of the things that authors or novice authors and even veteran authors sometimes don't understand, is that when you start having followers and you start gathering your tribe or your fans, etc., you're a writer, so you need to write. Anyway, have an amazing day. Again, we are 1 month away from our submission window. I hope to get to read your story, and we're going to be super busy on this end. So congratulations, and we will talk to you soon.